Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy is the forum for started with the intention of promoting homeopathy all over the world. Actually, this is a non-religious and non-political organization. Our only aim is to spread the knowledge and scope of homeopathy to the entire world and unite all the homeopathic doctors together in one platform. And many homeopathic doctors coming to our platform and sharing their views and experience here that will benefit us each other. And we have celebrated continuously. Today is our 312th Zoom session. For continuous 311 days without any break, we are conducting this Zoom session. So welcome everyone, those who participating our daily meeting and those who are participating today. Also, I am welcome everyone. And today we got two homeopathic authors as our guest. I am welcoming Dr. S.V. Santhosh Kumar sir. He got his BHMS from Trivandrum Medical Homeopathic Medical College, and he have his MD in Organon of Medicine, and he got his Master of Health Science in Clinical Child Development, and he's the research scholar of Sharada Krishna Homeo Medical College, Kanyakumari, and he's the Director of Life Care Homeopathy UAE, and he's the Senior Homeopathic Medical Consultant in Taha Medical Center UAE, and he is the speaker of various international and national homeopathic seminars, and he is the author of book Scientific Materia Medica. Welcome, sir. Welcome to our Zoom session. Now you can talk, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Doctor, for your wonderful introduction. I would like to convey my gratitude to the office bearers of Ifph for giving us an opportunity to be here and present our topic. So before starting, I will start sharing my screen. Just 1 minute. What is this? Start. Can you see my screen, madam?
Yes, yes.
Just a minute. So today, this is the second session of our webinar. Last week, Dr. Ihab has already explained about the pathophysiology, what is going inside our body whenever we are having gastroesophageal reflex disease. So today I am going to connect it with homeopathic approach. In the sense, we are trying to find out a medicine which will clear it from its root. So I'm going to give you how to approach in this gastroesophageal reflex disease. Before starting, I would like to take the blessings from our master, Dr. Christian Frederick Samuel Hahnemann, who gave us a beautiful science, which gave us name, fame, money, everything. Thank you, sir. So before going to the homeopathic approach, I hope most of the doctors who are sitting here has attended the last week's seminar, where Dr. Ihab has explained about the pathophysiology, because that has to be very much important. You have to keep that in your mind. I will just brush up what Dr. Ihab has explained. Just 5 minutes, I will brush up that one. Gastroesophageal reflex is because of the problem with the HCl, hydrochloric acid, which is there inside in our body. He has already explained everything. Whenever we wash all these vegetables, fruits, everything, still some microorganisms will be there in the body, in the vegetables, which will be cleared with the help of the hydrochloric acid which is present inside the gastrointestinal tract so that the normal digestion happens in our body. In case of low acid in the stomach, of course, that will cause indigestive problems that everybody knows. Then, just a minute. My camera is off now. So whenever we share, it goes. Okay. So what cells secrete stomach acid? Dr. Ihab has already explained that one, because in the gastric mucosa, there are gastric pits. Inside that gastric pits, there is some specialized cells called parietal cells, which is responsible for the hydrochloric acid production inside the intestinal tract. And how this parietal cells manufacture has been explained by Dr. Ihab clearly last time. Because the hydrochloric acid, this parietal cells is the one which transfer hydrogen to the stomach mucosa, and it combines with chlorine to form hydrochloric acid. And what is the cause of low acid? Because of aging, it can happen, and because of the protein pump inhibitors. Because inhibitor means it will inhibit the production of hydrogen from the parietal cells. That also is one of the reasons. And if the surgery is doing, then that can cause this one. Smoking and lifestyle, chronic stress, and how this low acid cause reflex symptoms in the patients. Whenever there is low acid in the stomach, this microorganisms cannot be digested properly or the work properly, as a result of which there will be fermentation, increased bloating on the abdomen, which will cause acid reflux. The physiology and pathology has been completely explained by Dr. Ihab last time. Heartburn will be there and the diagnosis will be GERD. Immediately the doctor will give you some medications, the patient will be happy, but the problem will be still persisting. Further investigation, they will go for gastroendoscopy, and the doctors will find out that H. pylori is the basic reason. Then they will give H. pylori is actually because of the low hydrochloric acid inside the stomach. Then the treatment of H. pylori will be there. Again, the patient will be happy. Then still the problem persists. Further investigation, the doctors will go with ultrasonogram. Then they will find that it is because of the gallstone. What the treatment they will do? They will advise this patient to go for sonography, and they could able to find that gallbladder calculi is the basic reason. Then they will refer this patient to the surgeon. Again, the problem is still persisting. And low acid related disease, Dr. Ihab explained, there will be hair fall, the osteoporosis can happen, headache, migraine, and the albumin deposition will be there. How this one comes, everything has been clearly explained last time. Then, the importance of homeopathic system of medicine. Actually, the function of the gastrointestinal tract, starting from mouth to anus, is for the normal digestion, and it's meant for growth of the body. Whenever we smell some food, or whenever we are thinking about any food, immediately digestive function starts in our body. The first stimulus starts in the greater curvature of the stomach, which causes a fume inside in the greater curvature of the stomach that wakes up salivary, lingual, and submandibular glands. Salivary, lingual, and submandibular glands to produce lipase. And lipase cleans the tongue and the teeth. During this process, fluorine from the dentite will be coming. This fluorine, this is the first process. This fluorine scrapes the esophagus and reaches the fundus of the stomach and settled there. Once this fluorine reaches and settled, deposited there in the fundus, the fume formation from the greater curvature of the stomach will be stopped. Then in the tongue, there will be lipase along with the fluorine. This lipase and fluorine will clear the taste buds so that you will feel the taste. Whenever the deposition happens there on the tongue, that excites the nervous action of the vagus nerve. That is the 10th cranial nerve starts functioning, get activated. Once this cranial nerve gets activated, the brain stimulation will be there. This brain stimulation activates the 5th cranial nerve. It's very important for us. 5th cranial nerve, which excites, causes the tongue movement. Tongue movement starts, taste buds will be cleared, taste will be differentiated into sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. Umami means mixture of all the taste. That is called spicy taste. You just see these pictures. In the sweet, it will be in the anterior portion of the tongue get excited if only sweet is there. And if salty taste is more in the person, this part of the area gets activated more. And if it is the sour taste, it means the posterior lateral part of the tongue gets activated. And if it is bitter, then posterior part of the tongue get activated. And if a mixture of all the taste is there, then you will get a spicy or umami taste. Normal digestion is going inside the body. That means vagus nerve function and trigeminal nervous function together. Trigeminal nerves have motor and sensory control. So motor means tongue movement. Sensory means taste buds becomes active. But in case, if you are thinking about biryani or any food like that, the saliva or the enzymes which has been secreted is to digest that hard substance, which is biryani. But you are forced to take rice, dal, or something like that. In normal times, this gives you a very good taste. But now this tastes not that much good, because along with this 10th cranial nerve, instead of trigeminal nervous function happens, the trochlear nerve, the 4th cranial nerve goes into function, so that only motor function will happen. That means the tongue movement will be there, sensory taste perceptions will be less, so that you won't get that taste. The digestion starts alteration there itself, because the enzymes which has been produced is for digesting the hard fatty like substance which the body is not getting. The unhealthy digestive system starts. So to conclude, what I would like to say is, before the food reaches the mouth, your digestive process starts. That means there is a connection between psyche, brain, body relation. So whatever we think that will have effect on the brain, which is having particular portion of the brain which have connection with the body, and it will act on that particular part of the body. That means whatever ideas you are generating, whatever thoughts you are having, that will perceived in a particular part of the brain which have effect on a particular part of the body. This is very, very important for homeopaths. So, in aphorism number 12, Hahnemann has explained it is the morbidly affected vital energy alone that produces disease. So that the morbid phenomena perceptible to our senses express at the same time all the changes. That means the phenomena which are perceptible to our senses. That is to say, the whole morbid derangement of the internal dynamics. So they reveal the whole disease. The perception will reveal you the whole disease. Consequently, the disappearance under treatment, all the morbid phenomena, including the perception, that is the basic thing to restore the integrity of the vital force and thereby the recovered health of the whole organism. How beautifully Hahnemann explain this one. That what is the meaning of this one? If you would like to cure that patient, you are not supposed to give medicine for gastritis or low acid. What is the perception which causes this person to make this low acid? That perception has to be changed. Then only you will get cure. Otherwise, the patient again will come with H. pylori or will end up with gallstone polyp. Okay. So the chemistry of emotions, whenever our emotions, depending upon the emotions which we are having, different neurotransmitters are produced inside the body. Then, in gastroesophageal reflex disease, what are the causes? As explained by Dr. Ihab, lower esophageal sphincter muscular problem will be there. Obesity is the second reason, and hiatus hernia, third reason, and abnormal acid production. These are the causes for GERD. Then, what all emotional factors can affect this gastrointestinal tract? This is very important for us. Anchor, that too in our territory, whatever we feel that it's our territory. Either in the workplace, either in the home, in children, it might be in the school, that is considered as their territory. Now the fear factor and sad, grief or shame, humiliation, all these things can cause gastrointestinal tract disorders. How this one affects in our body? Whenever one feels angry, immediately some enzymes or hormones are produced inside the body, which is epinephrine or norepinephrine. The body is having self-defense mechanism to overcome the production of adrenaline and other one. The parasympathetic nervous system releases one enzyme called, one neurotransmitter called acetylcholine to prevent the arousal of the emotion of anger by neutralizing stress hormones so that the body can relax and calm. This is the defense mechanism of the body. But if whenever it has been, this acetylcholine has been excited, it has direct action on the parietal cells of the gastric mucosa, so that there will be improper circulation of hydrochloric acid inside the body, which will be the basic reason for low acid production. So anger is one of the main reason for anger, that too territorial anger which we consider as our territory. Second, then the fear factor. These things you have to keep in your mind. Then it is very easy for us to select the rubric accordingly. Second one is the fear factor. The movement of the diaphragm is influenced by the neural networks that organize automatic responses to the particular actual threat to our safety and well-being, including pain and anticipation of pain. So we all have experienced that our breathing becomes faster, shorter, labored when we are agitated, and it slows and deepens when we are relaxed. Whenever a fear factor comes, we will take a deep breath that relaxes the diaphragm muscles. So diaphragm muscles will get weakened if that fear factor stays long inside your psyche, which can cause hiatus hernia. Third one, sad and shame. Whenever sad and shame comes, we will have stress hormone, like the basic one is cortisol, which will affect the fat storage, because cortisol can mobilize triglyceride from the storage and relocate them to the visceral fat. It is relocating them to the visceral fat. Not only that, the biochemical process of the cellular level, one enzyme has to be there to break down the fatty acid, which is called 11-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, will be less whenever a patient will have more cortisol inside the body, so that the patient will have more fat on the visceral area. Central obesity will be there. Fatty liver will be there. These all can cause gastroesophageal reflex disease. These things are very important for a homeopath like us, so that the questions can be framed accordingly for the easy selection of the medicine. Then these are the feeling charts: anger, sadness, fear, and shame. These are the basic feelings which can cause in the body. Accordingly, depending upon the pathological condition, miasm inside the body, and depending upon the reaction that patient is having, there will be changes accordingly. And we will go with one case. This is a case of one lady of 51 years, unmarried, came to me with nausea and regurgitation of food, sometimes vomiting. And whenever she could be able to vomit, she feels better. But the nausea is so high, she could not be able to vomit also. She tries to vomit, but it's not possible for her, because what she feels is, if I could be able to vomit, I am better. And she is having bitter taste in the mouth. I already explained where the bitter taste will be there in the tongue. It is in the posterior part. That means the posterior part of the tongue is more active. The other part is not active. So the gastric mucous membrane is pressing something to the upper level, which causes this bitter taste in the mouth. All symptoms aggravated after food. For the last 2 months, she lost weight for nearly 7-8 kgs. And this history of presenting complaints is started nearly 10 years before, with pain in abdomen, with passage of motion several times a day. Taken several bouts of medicines which gave temporary relief, And this gastroenterologist diagnosed as IBS with gastroesophageal reflex disease. They given proton inhibitors. Inhibitors means that will inhibit only. They are thinking that it is because of the high acid secretion. They will give proton inhibitors that will again inhibit the hydrogen pushing to the surface. So that again the less acid will be there. Nearly 5 years they have given medicine, and she has been taking pantoprazole for the 10 years. But by she has no hope in her cure. She came to me telling this picture, as she has been taking medicine since long and now losing weight also. And another family history also is there. Father was hypertensive and expired in an accident. Mother was diabetic and expired due to CA stomach. This also is one of the factors for her. One brother is hypertensive and one sister is hypothyroidism. All her relatives are staying outside her hometown, and she doesn't have connection with them. This life situation is, this patient has been working in a bank in Abu Dhabi for 9 years. Last month, she lost her job, which increases her problem. She was working as an officer. The just assistant to the CEO. And she started her career as a clerk and reaches that position within 9 years. Last year, another person came there. He took control of everything. She was a little bit worried about that. And now she lost the job also. She had a break in relationship nearly 10 years before, which affected her a lot. They were together for nearly 3 years. And she dreamed of a family life with him, but unfortunately the relationship broke down because that person got connected with another lady, snatched away this particular person, which affected her a lot. It was difficult for her to adjust with this, and to relieve all this stress, she shifted to Abu Dhabi. And she could, after the first few years, she were not even thinking about another marriage because she thought, I could not able to love. This is the first love which she had. And she thought that she could not able to love the other person. So she kept everything in her and she shifted to Abu Dhabi. But till now, on and off, this situation comes to her mind. This memory comes to her mind. After this incident, slowly the bloating in the abdomen started. Then she went for several doctors, and they have given so much of medicines which didn't give her any relief. She took some psychiatric medicines also during that period. But after shifting her mind to God, she's now a little bit religious. She could overcome that. That's what she told me. And she says that, I'm a very unlucky person. You doctors has to tell me the rubric which has to be selected. I am always an unlucky person because wherever I go, there will be someone there to prevent my growth in all ways. In my 10 years before, in our love relationship also, one another person comes and that relationship broke out. Here also another person comes, that relationship, job, she lost that job. And the nature of her is, she stays alone in Abu Dhabi and is very introverted and timid. She cannot able to take decisions easily, never shows anger with anyone, keeps everything inside and doesn't want to disclose to anyone. The relationship with her family members are also not that much because I already explained to you the family members are all outside the hometown, but she never calls her. Once in a while she calls, that's all. But she shows sympathy towards other people. And she is helping a lot, even to the waiters, to the people who are doing this corporation works and other thing in the Abu Dhabi. She will give money to them. Generals are, she is thin built. Appetite is not that much. Hers is very less, and she deserves sweets. Motion and urine are regular, but motion means sometimes it will be loose too. Perspiration, whenever she exerts a little bit, with staining the linen yellow. Thermal is chilly. Sleep restless. Menses were regular and stopped at the age of 48. Dr. Ajini, this chat box is open now. Doctors can either chat or they can unmute themselves and ask. How can we proceed?
We have disabled the chat box due to some unwanted comments came to our session in earlier session. So,
if possible, doctor, or they are, if somebody would like to, sorry,
they can hand this, right?
raise their hand so that they can unmute.
Yeah, that can be done.
So before going, I will show the video of that lady so that it will be easy for you people to come to the rubrics.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, doctor.
Can you hear?
Tell me.
I was referred, doctor, by
Dr. Shaji, is it audible?
Yeah.
Who's your previous patient also. When I came here, I basically, about a month before I could come to you, I was suffering from nausea, a little bit of vomiting, and those were my symptoms. Weight loss, and my weight had come down. The normal rate was around 52. I suddenly dropped down to 45. And then it was a question of life and death, and I was really I really panicked at that point of time. And then I happened to meet this colleague of mine who referred me to you. When I came here, the first day you checked my weight, it was around 46.
Yes.
46 kgs, or 45 rather, even below that. And then you started me off with your medicines.
At that time, there was no hope in you. You remember?
Absolutely, it was a real pathetic condition. I was like ready with all my documents, everything, thinking that, when is the time going to come, that way. That was my situation. I had really pulled down completely, and I was, what can I say, demotivated, and I was really, really, it was a very pathetic condition. And when I started taking your medicines, I was feeling a lot better. And every time you were in the UAE, I kept coming to you every visit. Every visit I visited you, and every time, and then the first visit you diagnosed it was IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And since then, like, I've been facing a little bit minor things here and there, but overall I've been feeling completely
Well.
Exactly.
This is the follow-up.
Something about your nature.
Okay. Nature, basically, I'm a little introvert, more on the introvert side, and shy. I really don't, I'm not a very social person, as I said, introvert. I don't really make friends that quickly. Yeah, and
Anger.
anger, okay, anger, no, I'm not, no, the anger, not really, but I'm more of a forgiving person.
Forgiving
Person, yeah, that is more.
So what about the family?
Oh, my family, I lost my parents in sometime back, about 10 to 15 years back. And I have a brother and one sister who's living in Bombay. And all my other family members are out of India, out of UAE also.
Okay. So you are not married?
I'm not married and I'm single, yes.
Why?
No, I was in a relationship. And I thought that would really work out. But one fine day, things just fizzled out, and we went our separate ways.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the.
How that one affected you?
Yeah. Oh, that was another time in my life. For 5 years, I couldn't overcome that. 5 years, I was like in deep. I was like.
This is the second visit with me. After giving medication, this is the second visit.
Pathetic condition at that point of time also. Just crying every day, and it was really, really bad. But after 5 years with prayers, then I came closer to the Lord, and I started praying a lot with prayers also. Not also with prayers, particularly with prayers, I overcome and I've come out of it. Uh, just about 10% I'm out of. I mean, I just think about that person because it was my first love, so I can't really completely forget that person. I've forgiven him, but it's over now. It's over.
Then why you thought of not having another marriage?
Oh yeah, that was the question because my family used to push me into all of this.
Yes.
But the thing is, I kind of loved this one person, and I thought at that point of time I would not be able to love another person. So that was that 5 years, and now I've crossed the age. I mean, now I'm almost 51.
Okay.
So
So which climate do you prefer most?
I prefer the warmer climate.
How's the thirst?
Thirst, actually, before all of this, I used to never, honestly speaking, I used to hardly drink about 3 glasses of water. But now, after this IBS thing and all that, I've really started drinking a lot of water.
How's
That's all.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's all. Now it's time for you. What medicines can be given, and some doctors has to either tell the name of the medicine and they have to explain why they will come with that medicine. You have gone through the complete case. Dr. Shaji, otherwise I have to go now.
I think better if nobody is raising hands, you can go. There is a raised hand.
Very good. Dr. Pranav.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself, doctor. Yes.
Namaste, sir. This is
Namaste.
Pranav from Bengaluru.
Good.
So,
tell me, doctor. Yeah.
the rubric may be mind ailments from love disappointed.
Okay.
And maybe Natramure can be a good choice
Very
because
good.
a strong love, one-sided love, and it is a very deep remedy. And obviously, I think it may be a Natramure.
Okay. Very good.
Thank
Any
you.
other inputs? Very good, Dr. Pranav.
Yeah, Muhammad Saidan. Yes. Please unmute yourself and speak. Yeah, you are unmuted.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
The question is, before we starting to deal with rubrics, did we measure the pH of the gastric acid for the GERD patients? I'm speaking from Amman, Jordan.
Yeah. Actually, this patient comes to me after having all the treatment with this allopathic doctors. They completely fail.
Yeah. Usually the gastroenterologists all over the globe, they don't believe in measuring the pH of the gastric acid.
Yes.
And actually the GERD is 99% of the cases comes from low acid, high pH, pH. And accordingly, when we are searching for the rubrics, we will search for the medication that increases the acidity or increasing the acidity and lowering the pH.
Yes, correct. That is what
is that the status?
Yes, of course, because that acid secretion is less. Low HCl production is there in this particular patient, which is the basic reason for this one.
Yes.
How can we increase that one? That is our question.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you. Doctor Shaji, some other doctor has raised the hand.
Yeah, Dr. Sridhara Kurup, he can speak. Yes.
Yes. In acute phase, for temporary immediate relief, we can give ignatia and followed by Natramore. Natramore is chronic phase. It can be given followed first that the Ignatia and follows by Natromore. That is my prescription.
Okay, doctor.
Because of the deep
Doctor, because of the
because of the long disappointments of love. That is the main reason. That is why.
Very good.
Acute
Very
prescription is Ignatia and followed by Natromore. That is the correct prescription. What I feel, according to my knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other suggestions? Okay. Thank you. Actually, now we have to see love disappointment. It was there 5 years before, isn't it? Ailments from has to be taken. Aphorism number 5 has to be taken in cases whenever the patient is having in acute phase. Whenever it crosses, useful to the physician in assisting him to cure is the most probable cause of exciting cause in acute disease. And in chronic disease, we have to go with all the details, including the miasm. That is what Hanneman has clearly explained. Of course, we can take ailments from in this case also, because till now that physiology is continuing in her. Physiological changes are still there. So we can take ailments from. But before going into the ailments from, what is the reaction which this particular patient was having during that time? That is very important. Because the switching of that perception has to be there. According to Dr. Hanneman in aphorism number 12, that switching of mechanism has to be there. What was the reaction which she had whenever she had that love disappointment? How she reacted, and how was the situation which was going on after this till now this 10 years? She was angry, and that too silent. I already told you, whenever you go with the gastroesophageal reflex disease, in case of low acid, there must be territorial anger. Anger inside the territory, that should be there. So I have taken one rubric, which is anger silent. She had anger, but she silently takes with her that anger. Am I correct? Then comes, during the conversation, she was telling she has kept everything ready. All the papers are ready because she is about to die. What is the rubric for that one? I don't have any cure. It's a feeling of desperation. Am I correct? Desperation. That's it. Yes. Despair, recovery of. This is the second rubric I have taken. And the third one, she told us what is the feeling which she had. Always she was telling, there will be someone in my life who comes to me so that I am an unlucky person. Feels unfortunate. From the beginning itself, I could be able to understand that this patient is in a plant family, not the animal remedy, not the mineral remedy. If it was animal remedy, animal is for survival. She will try her level best, or she will do something for the opponent in order to survive. But if it is a plant, it's a hurt, always hurt. She will take that one and she will live with that. So the rubric I got with this one is these 4 medicines: Bryonia, Lycopodium, Veratrum, and China. These are the 4 medicines which I got. And fortunately, all the 4 medicines are from plant kingdom. Then, these are the mental symptoms. One symptom has to be taken, which is PQRS in this case. Dr. Hanneman has clearly explained everything in our Bible. You see, the most striking, singular, uncommon, and peculiar characteristic signs and symptoms of the case of the disease are chiefly and most solely to be kept in view. For it is most particularly these that very similar ones in the list of the symptoms of the, so in this, all the symptoms of the physical symptoms, which one is more prominent, that is uncommon, striking, singular, and peculiar symptom in this patient? I have already explained everything with you. Gastroesophageal reflex disease symptoms will have nausea will be there, vomiting will be there, but in this patient, nausea, vomiting is once upon a time, she wanted to vomit, but cannot able to vomit. This is what I have taken as a rare peculiar symptom. Then I got two medicines, Bryonia and China. Bryonia is hot, China is chilly. Or the feeling of Bryonia. What is the feeling of Bryonia? Whenever an anger comes, you just see, due to the feeling of vexation and disturbance, Bryonia will work busily and reach a position of comfort. So there is peace and quiet. Bryonia will be working tightly. And how is China? The feeling of China is, I am weak. And so people attack, trouble, and torture me. See how beautifully Dr. Shankaran has explained all these things. A feeling of being persecuted. The patient feels he is weak, not good enough, that he is persecuted and hindered at his work by other people, that he is obstructed from achieving his ambition. So I gave, this is the follow-up prescription. I gave 1 dose of China because you know in Abu Dhabi, we are not supposed to dispense medicine from our medical center. We have to prescribe. I told that patient to purchase this one, take 3 tablets tonight, followed by, instead of placebo, I have given natrum phosphoricum 2 tablets twice daily. During the second visit, she comes, nausea and bitter taste in the mouth reduced. Appetite was good, but restless sleep and other symptoms which was there, thinking about that particular person, thinking about someone is always hindering her, it is still there. So we are not supposed to stop, because that perception has to be completely removed. Then only that parietal cells will produce normal gastric juice, that is hydrochloric acid. So I gave again 30 ml of water, dilute this medicine, 3 tablets in 30 ml of water and take 5 ml, rest of which has to be discarded. 25 ml has to be discarded. Again given natrium phosphoricum, continued. Third visit she comes, nausea completely gone, appetite good, weight begins to increase to 550 kg, sleep well, no past negative thoughts, but feeling of anger still comes and goes on. So again I gave 1 dose with 60 ml of water, dilute with and give 5 ml. Natrum phosphoricum, make it to single time. You see, 14, 9, 20, absolutely fine. Doesn't have any thought of the past. Still trying for a new job. Hopefully will get it. Doesn't feel any anger towards her colleagues. Never thinks about that one. She is completely fine. So that perception can be completely removed, so that the chances of gallstone and other things also won't be there. Normal gastric secretion is there. So in aphorism number 247, Hahnemann has clearly explained that you are not supposed to give the same strength. Every time the strength has to be changed. Then only the medicine will work fruitfully. So instead of, because 0 bar, I wanted to give 0 bar, 50 millismol potency, so that every day we can give, but it's not possible for us to get that one. So I gave medicine like this, and this is the story of this particular lady, and I am happy, and she is also happy. This is all. Thank you very much for the patience in hearing, and questions now. It's a time for questions. Dr. Shaji.
Yes. We are waiting for patients. Those who wish to ask questions, please raise your hand. And yes, Dr. Sridhar Kurup.
Yes,
Sir.
that natrum pose, whether how we can say that China only can cure, that natrum pose also given, that
Yes.
also can give, it also can give a very good relief for to the, according to my experience last 51 years, that I felt that the natrum pose also is one of the best remedy for that, giving relief for to the acidity and the gastric problems.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure
Actually,
that the China?
of course, along with this China, we have to give placebo only. But whenever we are telling a patient to take one dose, you just imagine the patient needs something daily. They have been taking medicine. So instead of placebo, we are not supposed to give anything. We have to give something now. Placebo is not allowed in that country. So we have to give. Okay. Yeah, that is the reason why I gave natrium phosphoricum. Almost all the patients are giving biochemic medicines from our side, because otherwise the practice is not possible in this beautiful country. Because one dose of
Sorry, sir. Of natrum pose. Natrum pose potency.
6x. D 6x is the potency which we are getting.
Okay, thank you very much. Beautiful explanation and beautiful presentation. Thank you very much. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Very good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Manoj.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very happy to see and listen to you. Very nice presentation. But I think there's one problem. Point is that the horse 206 footnote. Animal says these causes, the exciting causes, are too insignificant to cause or develop the disease year by year and continue it for a year. What is your opinion about that?
So, sorry, Dr. Manoj, I didn't hear it clearly.
These causes, the so-called exciting causes. In case of acute disease, they will not develop a chronic disease. As anyone says, Aforsum 206 footnote. These are too insignificant to develop a chronic disease in a healthy body, to keep it up for years and aggravate it year by year. That is what statement given by Hahnemann.
Yes, in Aforsum number 5 and the footnote, he has been clearly explained that one. But the basic thing is, if that exciting factor is there in the body for a long time, that means in this patient, this anger is the basic exciting factor in her, but she keeps it as a silent. So I already explained that whenever that anger is there inside the body, that anger, to combat that anger, body is releasing acetylcholine, because so much of stress hormones are there. To combat that stress hormones, acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter which has been stimulated by parasympathetic nervous system, which excites the stomach cells, parietal cells, to produce less stomach, this acid, hydrochloric acid. It is there, evident in this particular patient. So it becomes chronic, but it is not a case of psychotic. It is soro-syphilitic. No hope in life. That is syphilis. It is going from sora to psychosis because physiology is still there. That's what I told you. Whenever the physiology is still there in the body, you can go with ailments from. But Dr. Hahnemann has told that it won't go with the chronic disease. But this patient is going with the psoriatic disease itself. And no hope, it will end with psychotic, but that doesn't mean that she will commit suicide. This is a case of soro-syphilitic case. Very good question and very good. this
due to some time constraints, I am not completing my question. So I am giving time to others to ask their questions. Discuss more things. This is
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Danesh. Dr. Danesh.
Dr. Danesh.
Good evening, all. It's a very good presentation, sir. Yes, good
you.
evening, sir.
Good
I'm very happy to hear your presentation. Excellent.
Dr. Danesh, 1 minute to ask question, 1 minute to answer, so that we can go to another hand raiser.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Very good presentation, and in the beginning, after hearing the case, I thought that it may be a case of Staphysagria because it's from love failure and also silent grief. These two things together, because it being a chronic problem, I thought it may be a case of Staphysagria, but you have shown that repertory work is a must for everyone, so that your thought will be in the right direction. So your repertory work really works for you, and thanks for enlightening us.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Danesh. And what is the feeling of Staphysagria? Whenever the anger comes, Staphysagria feels anger suppressed is there, but Staphysagria feels insulted, which is not there in her.
Yes.
Got it? Okay. Next.
Okay, Dr. Lokmani Gupta, 1 minute to ask your question, 1 minute to answer.
Definitely, sir. Without any formalities. My question is, sir, presented very good. There were two things. The result of silent anger.
Yes.
And there is one more thing, grief.
Yes.
In both the situations, in the grief also, the GIT reflexes changes.
Yes.
So, what was the point which stressed you to take the symptom as silent anger? Secondly, sir, Staphysagria and CPI are two remedies which also creates these suppressed or silent angers where one cannot represent herself, especially in case of ladies. Kindly, sir, please.
Okay. Actually, I already explained from the beginning itself. We have to see what is the pathology in this particular patient. Yeah. The patient comes with low acid problem. If it was grief, then of course cortisol will be more, chances for visceral fat will be more, and obesity will be more, especially central obesity, which is not there in this case. Got it? That is the first thing. Second one, you were asking about Staphysagria and Sepia. I already explained about the Staphysagria. Yeah. But Sepia, what about the Sepia? Sepia is an animal remedy. How does Sepia feel? Sepia is very independent, and she is a lady who wanted to give. Revenge will be there in Sepia also. She will find ways to get. But here nothing is there. Keeping inside the mind, it's definitely a plant remedy. We are not supposed to think about animal remedy. Got it?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
Very well explained.
Thank you. So it is time to say thank you. It is already time up, so don't take much time. I thank both Dr. Ihap Maki and Dr. Santhosh Kumar for your 2 days of wonderful physiopathology presentation and therapeutic presentation. It was very nice, and it's connecting the involvement of the mind and the body is very important and relevant, where homeopathy and the holistic systems of medicine comes into play. I think the future of the world, in the medical world, is this relationship is going to play a very important thing. So this consideration is very important in the emerging world of medical science. So it is very relevant in that perspective. I thank both of you, Dr. Santhosh Kumar and Dr.
One word from Dr. Ihab also.
Ihab, yeah. Just 1 minute. We are
1
already
minute. Late.
exceeding
I
time.
know.
Exceeding
Just
time.
one
So
word.
1 minute, one minute, one sentence, please. Dr. Ihab, please.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shaji. Thank you very much. As you have said that the future right now for homeopathy in connecting the pathophysiological to the remedy and try to figure out and understand the underlying cause pathologically, and accordingly we think about the treatment. That is the future, and thank you very much.
So thank you. With this, I thank both of you, Dr. Santhosh Kumar and Dr. Ifph Maki. And now it is time to go forward. All those who participated today from different parts of the world. We have some new participants from Gulf area also. So thank you. And we wish you to come back again to our forum for continued listening and participation. Now we hand over the forum to our Malayalam regular session from 9:30 to 10:30 Indian time. Over to GD, madam.